Hi guys, welcome back to lesson 4 in our PC package. So today we're going to be talking about the full swing, and the first part of the video I'm going to show you some of the basics that we're looking to achieve in that full swing. In the second part of the video I'm going to talk a bit about the certain positions that we want to get into throughout the swing. So let's start with the basics of the golf swing. So when we're swinging a golf club, what we need to understand is we're trying to swing the club head in a circle around the body. Okay, so the club swings up and behind me on the backswing, down in front of me on the downswing, and on the through swing, up and behind me again. So from the back angle, it'll look like this. The club starts in front of me. It's swinging in a circle around my body till it gets to the top, comes back down in a circle, and round this way. So we're trying to do that with every club that we hit. We're trying to make this nice circle around the body. So if we're swinging in a circle, we need to learn to keep the middle of the circle, so the spine, fairly steady throughout the swing. We don't want to be moving off the ball this way and this way as we're swinging. So a lot of golfers will move the body too much like this in an effort to get power, where really we should be using the power of the circle to create our distance, right? So once I set up to the ball, I'm trying to keep my body fairly steady. So you can see my head is pretty much in the middle of my feet, and will pretty much stay that way as I swing, okay? So I didn't go all the way over here. I'm staying or making a very centered turn this way. As I come back down, again, my upper body is still between my feet, come into impact, and as I go through, then I'll start to come out of my posture a little bit and move forward. But certainly from this point until after I hit the ball, the center of my body is staying fairly steady, okay? Same from the back angle, except that I'm going to be in this posture. So I want to stay more or less on this incline with my upper body as I'm swinging, at least into after impact here. At the end of the swing, I can lift up once the ball's been hit. So we're trying to keep our body at the same level and pretty much in the same space as we swing. And that way we learn to keep the center of our swing correct. So once we've got the center of the swing staying fairly steady, then we need to understand that we've also got to try and control the outside point, the club head. So that's the radius of the swing. So as I swing, what I try and do is I want to make sure that I create some width here. So this distance from where I start, from my sternum to my hands, will pretty much stay constant as I go all the way up to the top. So I've still stayed fairly wide. I didn't get narrow, what a lot of golfers do. They get very narrow at the top and gives them a very long look. Okay, swing looks long, but actually it's just narrow. If they pushed out, they would find themselves in a wider, shorter position. So certainly when we're hitting an iron shot, we want to have that sort of high position here. This shaft is away from my right shoulder. So that's what I'm thinking about as I go back. I'm trying to keep the shaft away from my shoulder, keep some width in the swing, but at the same time keep my body centered. So I don't want to create width with the center over here. I keep my center of my body here, and I create some width on the backswing this way. Same thing on the way down as I come through. My hands are staying the same distance from my sternum here. You can see I'm creating that width on this side now. Now the shaft is away from the left shoulder. So a really good way, especially when you're learning, is just to hit shots where you swing through and you maintain the width. You don't have to go do every swing right through to here, okay? So we want to try and create the same radius throughout the swing. So from the back angle, it's going to look this way as I swing back. There's a gap here between my shoulder and the shaft. As I swing through, I've still got the same distance. So if you can learn to keep your body center stable and the radius the same throughout the swing, it's really going to improve your golf, and you're going to improve a lot quicker. Now I want to talk a bit about some of the positions we're looking to get into in the golf swing. So when we set up, we've already done a video on the setup, but we want to make sure, we'll just go through it again quickly, we want to make sure that we're standing in a good posture. Okay, so the spine stays neutral. I bend forward, my arms are hanging, right? From the front angle, I want to have a balanced setup. Okay, so I'm in this position as I start. My feet are about shoulder width. My toes are slightly wider than my heels, so my toes are slightly turned out just to help my balance and to help my turning. So when I'm making the backswing, the first part of the swing we call the takeaway. Again, we've already talked a little bit about this in one of the first videos. So when I swing back to this position here, okay, the club is pretty much parallel with the ground at that point. So to do that, I've actually moved the club in a in a little arc because we're moving in a circle, and the club is in that position there. So first position I want to hit is this one here. So the club at this point is parallel to the ground and also pointing or parallel to my target at that point. So that would be the first position we're looking to get to in the golf swing. We don't want the club to be too far out this way, and we certainly don't want it wheeling in this way here. We're just trying to set the club in front of the body in this position. So from that first move, then we're going up to the top. So then we're really trying to maintain the radius of the swing. I want this shaft to stay away from the shoulder as I go up, maintain my center. So this is my top of my backswing. Club doesn't have to go all the way back here. What you'll find for most golfers is that the club will point upwards at this point, okay? So from the back angle, the club will point upwards and a little bit behind me. I don't want it across this way. I want the club sitting in that position. Okay, it's on a nice angle to start my downswing. So that's going to be my second position, top of the backswing. Now I'm trying to bring it back down. So you can see as I come back down, I'm starting to move more onto my front side here. Okay, I come into this position here. I've got a bit more weight on my front foot. This is looking similar to the first position we talked about. Okay, so first position was here. Now I'm coming into a similar position, but I'm very narrow at this point. So again, from the back angle, the club is working down from the top into this hitting position. The club's not coming too far from behind me, and it's definitely not out in front of me. This is a very common one. We see a lot of golfers coming out in front this way, over the top. We want the club slotting back down into this position. Okay, now I'm in the hitting position. So next position is going to be the impact, which we've talked about in one of the videos already. But as I come in here, you can see my weight will be on my front foot. My arm and club are in line. And then a really important one is going to be this part here. This is the follow through. Okay, so this is the point where both arms are extended. Okay, it's really the only time we're going to see both arms really extended out. You can see how far away the club is from my body. You can see I've maintained my center back here, but the club or the radius is wide. And from that position, I just want to go up into a balanced finish. Okay, so even at the finish, I still want to have a little bit of a gap here from the shaft to my shoulder. And you can see my body is facing the target now. You can see the trail foot has turned, it's up on its toe. And really, this foot is just for balance. I don't want to have any weight back on this foot. So we're just trying to hit a lot of shots going through. We've got to obviously go through all those positions in the swing, but we have to blend it into one motion. So I'm going to start in a good position. I'm going to maintain my center, make a good radius with the swing, try and swing the club on the right line, and just let it go. So in summary, we want to make sure that we're keeping the body center stable. We're keeping the radius the same throughout the swing, and we're moving the club on nice lines, nice positions throughout the swing. So I hope this helped you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.